Southwest is among my most reviewed airlines, having flown a total of 16 flights with them only in the last 2 years, with 7 of them already uploaded as trip reports. But it's been a while since I've covered a flight on the most common aircraft type in their fleet, the 737-700, so I figured I should make another video on it on a flight from Bozeman, Yellowstone to Denver. I hope you enjoy this video on one of my most flown routes, and while you're at it, make sure to like and subscribe. We'll be at Southwest's usual gate here, B7. On the way there, I did some plane spotting. At gate B1 we got our American Airlines flight. I don't remember if this one was going to Dallas or Chicago, but it was most likely Dallas. I can't even be sure if American had a Chicago flight out of Bozeman today. I've just seen it appear at the most random times, so who knows. Here at B4 we got a CRJ900 flying as a United Express flight to Denver, operated by Mesa Airlines. I keep forgetting this regional operator exists, let alone flies here, but during this time, United was flying one Mesa Airlines flight here from Denver and back, and I guess this was the one. My aircraft was coming in from Denver, but unfortunately I missed the landing as the Flight Radar 24 playback cut off, confusing me on where it was. During the confusion, I also failed to spot it taxiing to my gate. And yeah, unfortunately gate B7, Southwest's go-to gate in Bozeman, is the worst one here, as this is the best view you'll ever get. So yeah, the tail and half engine you can see from here, that's my Southwest flight, and we'll be going to Denver like the Mesa Airlines one. This is November 438 Whiskey November, a 20-year-old 737-700. This one has blended winglets, unlike the other two 700 flights I covered on this channel which have split scimitars. But yeah, based on my other experiences on this plane, I've always considered Southwest 700 variant to be their most mediocre plane, as in not as enjoyable to fly on as their 800s and their Max 8s. Mostly because of the old interior, which doesn't have as much legroom as the other two types. Even then, I still think it's pretty good, so I guess we'll see how it is revisiting it. Next to gate B7, this is gate B6. This is where a lot of the ULCCs will fly into Bozeman. Like, I've flown in and out of here with a Velo and Allegiant, but I also one time flew out of this gate with Southwest. It wasn't filmed, but it has happened a few times where a Southwest plane will park here. But that doesn't really happen unless there's two Southwest planes here at once, which was the case that one time, where I was flying to Denver with them, was supposed to be at gate B7, but the earlier Las Vegas flight got stuck here at B7, so my flight had to switch to B6. But yeah, I'll actually be flying out of B6 in my next Allegiant video, so look out for that. So Southwest is getting rid of their open seating policy that I've mentioned a lot in past videos, but it was still a thing when I took this flight, so yeah, I was able to pick any open seat I wanted. My boarding position today was B59.
A130 now on board.
Despite being the worst legroom in Southwest fleet, it's still really good for a low-cost carrier. And you know an airline is good if that's what I say about their worst product. I mean, there's a reason why Southwest is one of my favorite US carriers.
On our way here very shortly, once airborne.
Flight attendants will distribute additional vests if needed. We are now coming by to check that your seatbelt is fastened, your seat back and tray table are in the full and upright and locked positions, and your carry-on items are completely under the seat in front of you or in an overhead bin, leaving the area around your feet completely clear.
My only other two trip reports on the Southwest 737-700 were from about 2 years ago. One was a Canyon Blue livery on the opposite route of this flight, and the other was Missouri 1 from Denver to Minneapolis. So yeah, both happen to be special liveries. This is my 8th trip report on the airline as a whole, so it's kind of funny that it took 8 videos for me to finally film a flight on a standard livery version of their most common aircraft type. But here's the thing, most of the Southwest flights I've taken in these past 2 years were not filmed. This is actually my 8th flight on a Southwest 700. I didn't film the others, so yeah, another video on this type has been long awaited. Some of the notable not filmed 700s I took with Southwest include November 7827 Alpha, this was the one I took out of B6, 903 Whiskey November, 968 Whiskey November, and quite a few more. So the tray table was quite big and was very clean on this plane. For the seat pocket, we got the red safety card for the 737-700 and the barf bag. For some reason, my seat didn't have the drink menu. Luckily, I had seen it many times before. Soon enough, the complimentary drink and snack service began. For my drink, I went for hot chocolate, and of course we also got the airline snack mix. Unfortunately though, I had no idea that this would be one of my last few times I get to enjoy the snack mix. Turns out Southwest will no longer be serving these. They're switching their snack mixes to a simple bag of pretzels. Sad, because I really like these mixes. But yeah, this is going to be my second to last trip report where you'll see these. One of the many things that separates Southwest from other low-cost carriers is their free selection of in-flight entertainment. It's accessed through their Wi-Fi on a personal device, but they got quite a big selection for short and medium haul flights, which is great. Plus, they have free texting, which I did try on this flight. It was slow, but worked in some way.
First, to welcome you to Denver. Please remain seated with your seatbelt securely fastened. Once the captain does turn off the fasten seatbelt sign, please be careful when opening those overhead bins. Items may have shifted during flight and can fall out. Well, now you can use the cellular functions on all your...
It's nice to be flying Southwest again through Denver after a full year. I'm actually going to be connecting on a 737 MAX to Chicago Midway. That'll be a future trip report. So what was it like revisiting Southwest's most mediocre hard product? Honestly, it just reinforced my belief that Southwest is one of few low-cost carriers that we can actually love. Like, once again, the worst legroom they offer is still quite good. I mean, good as in even better than quite a few legacy carriers like United and American on similar aircraft. And they still managed to do that with padded seats. The fact that this is their least comfortable product is a big reason for why I love this airline so much. Now, there are quite a few people who don't actually agree that Southwest is a low-cost carrier, but I personally say that it is. I've taken quite a few trips with them, as I've said before, and most of them I would not have been able to take had Southwest tickets not been as affordable as they were. Of course, I've seen exceptions when looking at their ticket prices, but overall they seem to be on the less expensive side based on my experience. Final score for flight 1893 will be 9.1 out of 10. Another wonderful flight with Southwest. However, it's important to remember that not long after this flight, Southwest started undergoing some changes, a few of which I mentioned in this video, like getting rid of open seating and changing their snack mix. Those aren't the only changes they're making, so I'll be going more in depth on this in my next Southwest review. That'll be on my connecting flight from here, and yeah, that'll probably be the last trip report on my channel with both that snack mix and the open seating too.
Flight attendants just driving cross check doors.
Please return for a lost electronic item. If you came from Kansas City 1686, please return.